Hey, welcome back. It's Friday. That means it's stream day. We're going to be creating a brand new image today. Hopefully my audio is good. Last week, for some reason, it was muted, but I think I see levels up there, which means we are good to go, and it's going to be awesome. So, today is a very special day. It is the first Friday, the first Friday of October, which means it's spooky time officially. The last 2 weeks we've been creating a couple spooky images here and there. So we're going to continue that this week. We're going to continue that with a brand new image, and if you guys saw the thumbnail leading up to this, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I am very excited about this one. We're going to have to do a couple new things. We're going to have to do some cloth sims, we're going to do some ripples in some waters, and some volumetrics. So this is going to be a bit of a hefty render today, but I'm looking really forward to it. So without further ado, let me show you the image that we'll be working on here, and that is this right here. We'll be doing this Grim Reaper walking through the lake towards your demise. So we're going to have some fun little ripples here on the ground, the cloth sim of the character, as well as some really cool volumetrics and clouds and stuff like that up in the sky. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be a lot of fun. I was practicing a couple little different techniques earlier to see what the most efficient means of being able to create this stream would be. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started right now. I've got the image loaded up here in Blender, and that way we can move forward. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to swap this over to our 3D cursor as usual. We'll just go ahead and delete that. Just create ourselves a ground plane that we'll want to work with. Thinking, you know, it might be easy just to line things up a little bit like that. And then we'll set the lens to like a 25mm lens here. And then, yeah, we can rotate this also just to kind of line things up a little bit easier. But yeah, how was your guys' week? Welcome back, you know. Did you guys have a crazy week? I felt like my week was very long this week. It just never seemed to end. But we're here. It's Friday. It's Friday, and we're gonna make an awesome render today. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see, just extending out the camera endpoint here, and then, as per usual, we're just gonna scale that out. Actually, that's scaling it out further away from camera too, which is kind of what we need. And then I'm gonna swap that off to median point of selection. We're just gonna scale that to the camera edge. As usual, we're not going to do anything that we don't need to see. So, you know, we just need that right here. And for purposes of this kind of liquid simulation that we'll be doing here, we're going to be using like the canvas technique inside of Blender, so that way we don't have to do too much simulation work. I'm going to split everything in half here. About right here is fine, because this is where we want really high poly stuff. I might even split that again, something like that's fine. Okay, great. So now if I select this, I can subdivide this a few times. Probably about there is fine. And then this we can subdivide. Oh, should be able to do that, right? Wild. Okay, that's fine then. We'll just delete this and say only faces, or X only faces, and then let's go ahead and just select this whole circle here. And if we, oh, that is unfortunate. I see what's the problem. Okay, it's okay. It's not gonna be a huge issue. I just want to split it up in two here then. And we'll say subdivide, 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 subdivide. We're just gonna keep subdividing this. Make it very dense. that might be fine. I might just go one more, honestly. Yeah. And then back here, we're going to do the same thing. So we'll say only faces, please. And then we'll go over here. And we're just going to fill that, because that doesn't need to have the ripples that go that far back. So we've got this pretty dense, we'll label this as water here. And actually, while we're at it, let's create some collections, because I like to keep my stuff a little organized as I'm working. Call that layout for all of our layout area. And then for right now, we're just going to delete the light. We don't need that. We'll delete that collection. So now we just have our camera and our layout functionality. And this will allow us to kind of like set everything up. So, you know, we've got the water here that we'll be able to do our simulation on top of. And then, you know, we can start adding our trees in and stuff like that as well. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hide that for a second. And then we'll Alt-H that. That should be, let's select right here, which is where we're going to want. It's funny, that's honestly not even that far away. So it adds the cursor right there, and then we can just start adding in some of our trees and stuff. Let's see, I've got Botanic here. Just like last week, we're only going to be using like the twiggy trees, because that's going to give us the creepiest look. I kind of should be paying more attention to, yeah, that should be fine. That should be good as well. And honestly, we don't need too much. We're just gonna maybe even scale that down. Let's just see, that's gonna be coming out of the water a bit, and we'll move that all the way over here. And then we'll spawn a new asset. Let's see if we could get like something a little more, oh, yeah, pointy-ish. Just build on top of it. Sweet. Oh, you know what? That needs to be further back. There we go. And for this, I mean, let's bring it down. It's in the water, you know? Go ahead and hit the save button. Let's go ahead and start saving. Saving now. Cool thing about this one is that we're going to get to spend a lot of time just working on the character to make him creepy, because, you know, there's really not that much. I feel like we already finished layout here. If I move this Botanic to layout section, that should be good. How's it going, Anthony? Welcome back this week. We're going to be doing a creepy image here. This is the one we're creating. So we're just focusing on layout right now to get that kind of stuff done, and then we can move on. I haven't started the character yet, but we'll get to do some cloth sim work on that momentarily. Let's see, I need some clouds and stuff, but I think I'm not going to worry about clouds till much later, because that's going to really make my scene pretty heavy. But for right now, if I go into my, not constraints, basically my physical properties, and I select the dynamic paint, this will allow me to add in kind of like a canvas effect. And let's swap this from paint down to waves. We can affect all of this stuff momentarily, but we're going to use this to kind of create the ripples inside of the water. I'm not worried about that just yet right now, so we can just hold off now. We're going to work on the character next. So we'll swap over to our human gen. I'm just going to use this as like our base model of our dude. And honestly, it doesn't matter what he looks like, because we're not gonna see him whatsoever. We're just using him for simulation purposes. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do finish creation mode. And Where's he at? Everything is so massive around here. Like, this entire scene is huge. Let's take everything. I think if we take everything, including the camera, and then we just scale it down, this might actually work nice. Let's move that over here. And line everything up. I'm just going to kind of line him up where the water would be, I guess. And we can do that by using our cursor and selecting the water area. And now if I move him to the cursor, let's do that. I'm just going to move him to the cursor and then have him like half in the water. And then if we select everything except for him, we can scale everything up to the proportion of the cursor, and then I'll give us the correct scaling. Something like that should be fine. I think I should be good. So he's going to be kind of like out of the water here. And we'll work on the robe simulation on him now. Now I haven't done too much cloth simulation work before, so let's see how that goes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enable, so we can disable everything except for what we need. I'm also going to hide this camera. You don't need to see it right now. We can always enable it up here. We can, you know, select it if we need it. I'm going to create the robe around him first and then move him to the orientation in which we'll need. So by doing that, I'm just going to create a plane and then we can rotate that. I'm going to go into edit mode and not extruding, sorry. I'm going to go into edit mode first, rotate it. Let's grab it on the y-axis here. Just kind of move it forward. Now, I've never really done this, so we're just going to have to do some trial and error things going on here, okay? Let's see. Start by making it very baggy. I kind of want it like that. Should be fine. Cool thing about a robe is I feel like it's probably the easiest type of clothing to create. So okay, that's good. And then let's see. We're gonna have this extrude up like that. Yeah, a little bit tight, I suppose. Okay. And I'm fine with the seam being up there. Okay, let's just extrude these sides now, or loop edge the sides. Bring that out. We'll go all the way across. Here's the other thing. I think I saw a suggestion on this. If we just do vertices, we'll delete half of it. I'm going to go into the modifiers now, and then we can add in a mirror modifier. Okay, apparently M is not for mirror. But why it wouldn't be. That way, whatever we do to this one side will happen to the other side. Okay. And then over here, let's just change that to medium points. What are we rotating this? Where's the number at? Did they remove that feature? Oh, there it is. Okay. So that's rotating it by negative 48.98. Negative 48. Rotate by 48. Perfect. Beautiful T-pose by your one and only Connor Thomas. Let's line this up a little bit better. Use, kind of singe this a little bit. Okay. I'll grab these edges here. This is going to go out pretty long actually, so that should be fine. It's loop cut. Loop cut, loop cut. Okie doke. Let's see how bad this is. Just kind of give it a little more. Okay. I think that should be fine. Let's rotate these arms to be straighter. And it's negative 30, so rotate negative 30. I'm just trying to give ourselves the best chance we have at this working. Let's turn that off. Just gonna kind of do that, make sure it's not penetrating the character whatsoever. And I'm fine with it also being a little baggier, so I'm just gonna bring it out a little farther. We're going to extrude this all the way through our character, and let's just check to see how thick we need that to be. I think that should be fine. Okay, let's go to face selection now. I'm gonna delete this and then just say faces. And it's kind of all gonna be good. Let's do that. Faces there. Faces. And then at the bottom. So that way he's not like in some weird onesie thing. If I apply that, so that actually creates like these, like this centerpiece thing. I don't think it should have. If I select that, what does that give me? Oh, just all of that. So if I say vertices, I don't know why it gave me. Oh, okay. It's probably because I screwed up the mirror mode or the singeing aspect of it. Okay, let's try this again. This time I'm going to actually apply this mirror modifier right now. And then inside of this mode, if I just select all of these vertices, which I can do again right here. Let's do that, scale X 0. And then let's go up to mesh and then do merge by distance. Perfect. Now let's go into here and then we'll just extrude everything through and through. And I'm going to delete faces on that. Faces and faces. That's going to kind of go over. I want that all to connect, so I think I need to have that stay selected. Let's just delete both sides of the arms. And this is pretty large, honestly. So let's see how well that works. Okay. Now everything else, we got face selection mode enabled. I'm going to just select all of that and then say only faces. So now we got kind of like our stitch marks that we got going on here. Let's go into here. We're gonna add in cloth. We'll scroll down to shape and then hit sewing. We're on frame 1, so this. Oof. Close, guys. I forgot. I think we have to go to here, hit cloth, and then turn on. Oh no, we don't want this guy to be cloth. We want him to be a collision. And now we've got ourselves an ugly robe. Okay. You know, honestly, it's not great. Not gonna lie. But it is the right shape. So we're on the right track, I think. Let's go back to frame 1 and we can adjust some things. I think first of all, we have to select everything and hit subdivide a bunch of times. Will that help? Oh, that's going crazy. It's got some cool ripples in it and stuff, though. Like, honestly, it's just I think it went crazy on me. So let's Control Z that a bit. Let's just see if a little bit more works. Yeah. I'm gonna look at the reference image here, see where the real seams are, honestly. Okay. Just seems like very much like a bag. So it's like he's wearing a bag. Here's what we can do though. Let's go into here and I need 3 additional. And let's go ahead and select these faces. I'm just going to kind of fill this in a bit more. I'm glad the rest of the scene, because I was going to do one where this guy was walking in like the forest. I'm glad I didn't do that, because I have a feeling this is going to be quite the endeavor today to do. Oh. Well, that'll explain. I subdivided everything. Let's I didn't realize that it would subdivide the individual stitch marks, which I think actually created a problem. So, yes, we're gonna have to take this, delete this side. All good. We're gonna take this and extrude it through. I think the trick also will be to have it be less baggy. Just making it a little smaller. Okay. Now, we go in and delete the faces here. Or that's only the faces? I don't want it to close on that part, so I want to just delete the faces entirely. Let's see. It's basically a Jedi robe is what we're going for here, okay? And Jedi robes are cool. Okay. Kind of works for me. It's honestly just like a pretty straightforward outfit. Now if we delete only the faces, that leaves all the edges. Which is perfect. Perfect. That's probably the reason why I went haywire though when I had all of those subdivisions. Okay. Slightly better. I've got this like crazy like wings that are happening on this dude. So let's see if I could try to fix that. If I go in here and let's just say we delete this. Now I'm just going to add in these lines, including the one over the shoulder. That should be fine. Let's delete all that. Vertices. Just kind of like go through and add these edges in. It's a little bit better. It's getting caught up in his face though. It's like we could delete only edges. So wait, that's only faces? Do they have an only? Oh, only edges and faces. What if I only wanted to delete edges? I didn't want to delete and faces. Why isn't that an option? Okay. Now I'm thinking, whoops. Now I'm thinking that it might be interesting. Oh, that should have been an edge right there. Okay, so let's do that, and then I'm gonna go in and just deselect all of these edges in between. Can I do that? Go into edge selection mode and deselect. There we go. And now if I subdivide, let's go in here, run the edges, subdivide. That's pretty good. Okay, and then now I just have to go back here to 2, deselect everything again. And then right click, subdivide. I could double check to make sure that it didn't add any vertices. Yeah, it did not. So now when I play that back, it's gonna have a bit of a higher. Perfect. Okay, that's good. Now, I am kind of thinking a little bit has the just needs to be much bigger, I think. So let's see how we go about doing that. Let's make everything scale X. Yeah, scale X. We do that, we get to scale X in. Something like that. is a crazy attempt at clothing, guys. You know, it's a learning process, though. I think that's what we're gonna call this, is a learning process. Grab X. Let's grab the other side. Grab X. Scale X, I guess. Let's see. I'm gonna select some edges here that are going like vertical, that I want wrinkles to be at specifically. And if we select those, oh whoops, not that one. If we select those and then delete only faces, that'll keep our edge loops on there. And now that'll give us some wrinkles that are kind of going vertically. And that may or may not work. I think I need to bring this in right here a little bit tighter. I think also let's start from scratch. We're learning one at a time, okay guys? One at a time. Just have this really cool robe that I want him to wear. And it's like, I know we can model it like ourselves, but I kind of wanted the experience of trying to do this all in a simulation. Scale that down. We're only gonna see his torso and up also. Let's delete this half and we're just going to use mirrors. A mirror modifier. Which I always lose where it's at inside of this whole... Where is it at? Mirror, 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 mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? Connor. There it is, mirror. I really wish that if I started typing it, it would just find it. Okay, let's select everything and we're just going to subdivide a few times. And that's going to give us some stuff to work with here. Yes. Let's take this, we're going to extrude it up. Bring that down. And let's see. Should be good. I'm just kind of like, let's just make this a little more form-fitting for his torso area. And that rest part's gonna just go down. Here, let's just extrude this out. And that's gonna go all the way. Okay. Just kind of position everything a little bit better here. let's just select this inner part right here. We'll just bring that in a little bit. Bring that in a little bit. Follow his torso a little bit better. Okay. Now we're just going to select everything that we have here. We're just going to bring that all the way through. Okay. Let's delete. Let's just apply that. Did that create an inside? It did. Okay, so we're gonna have to apply it before. That's a little annoying. Let's apply that mirror and then just extrude him all the way through. We'll delete the sleeves on each side. Guys, I'm going to be a pro clothing designer by the end of this. You guys will be like, wow, Connor can really design some clothes. Well, yeah, I do. Every now and then, you know, I try. Okay. Should all be good. Let's fix some of these vertices. There we go. I think we need to. Oh, I will be. Yes. I think Ben. Yes, I will be. After this, it's like you guys forget. VFX artist Connor? No. Connor used to do VFX. He is now a clothing designer. Oh man. Okay, and now let's go ahead and add like a cloth simulator on this. And then turn on sewing. Okay. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Oh man. Okay. Now, if we were to take this, it's funny because I didn't inadvertently do that. Scale it up. Scale it up. If you guys ever want a proof, if I test out what I'm doing before I start live streaming, this is a great example of what you should do that if you don't want to look like a fool. Alright, we'll delete this. We'll say only faces. Only faces. We're not going to see past down there anyways. Sewing max force, maximum sewing force. What is that? So if I increase that, what does that do? That really sews it together, you know? Oh, you know what? I can't subdivide. That's interesting. I never even thought of it that way. That's fine. Let's go ahead and delete this back half now. We'll hit vertices. And then we will select everything and extrude it all the way through. And again, as per usual, we're gonna have to delete the faces here. So not vertices, but only or faces. We'll just delete the faces, not the vertices. And then let's go to top view here. We'll select all these faces. And before we delete everything, we're going to select everything and hit subdivide. I think I have to do this before I extrude it outwards. I have to select everything, and then we're just going to subdivide a few times because it's going to be pretty dense. And then from here, we can extrude this all the way through. And then on the top view now, we will select all of the inner faces, delete those. We can just delete all of the bottom faces as well. Oh, did it not? What did I accidentally... Just select everything like this. On the inner cove, as it were. But not his back half. He does need that. We're not creating ourselves a hospital gown here. Okay. I'll just go ahead and delete everything here. Everything here. We're creating ourselves a Roblox character. That's what we're really doing. Great part is I'm going to use a cloth sim and then I'm going to sculpt on top of it because that's just what has to happen. Oops. Deleting faces. Okay. Now, if we... Yes. Select our entire faces in between. And we say only faces. And that's going to give us these wonderful stitch markers. Save. And sew. Wow, that is not playing nicely. Did it forget that this is like literally a collision? What is going on here? It was sewing too harshly together. Only Faces? Oh, that'd be a good website. Onlyfaces.com. It's just it's a database of like it's not even human faces. It's the face of like a 3D object. So it just has pictures of different faces of 3D objects, and it puts it all in there. And then yeah, that's the subscription. So you can like watch different 3D object faces every month. I like it. Only faces. And booty cheeks. Holy crap, look at them booty cheeks. Let's go. So I like how far down that goes. We are getting somewhere. Just not quite where I want to be. let's go back to frame 1 here. We can make some adjustments. First of which, I'm going to I think this is part of the problem. Let's try this. I'm going to Control Z a bit. How far back can we Control Z? Or am I going to have to redo this whole thing? Because that will be unfortunate. It's not the worst thing in the world. I could just... It's fine. I kind of just don't like this whole bottom part. It's just bothering me. Yeah. If I do that... You know what? He doesn't need any bottom clothes. I think that was my mistake. Whoever said you needed clothes on the bottom? That's dumb. Why would we need clothes? I think I'm asking valuable questions here that I think, honestly, people are afraid to answer. Oh, let's see, subdivide one more time. Maybe one more time on top of that. Okay. A little dense, don't you say? Okay, and then we'll take that. Might have screwed myself by doing this differently, but it is what it is at this point. We're rolling with the punches. Select this all the way through to there, which I think is too far. Yes, it is. So we'll just deselect those guys. We'll say delete faces. Okay. And we'll delete faces. Only faces, but not only faces. We're not deleting only faces. Delete the faces. Is there anything on the bottom to delete? We don't want feet. This is onlyfaces.com. It's no feet pics. No feet pics allowed. That's got to be in the terms and services. I feel like if that were a website, it'd be like, yeah. No. This is supposed to be for faces only. Alrighty then. Let's go nuts. I feel like I got less water this week. Maybe that's part of the problem here. We have less water to work with. Oh man. I think am I crashing it on the cloth sim? I know I did put a lot of vertices in there because I was like, I want this to be a really good shirt. I wanted it too much. You can't ever want greatness too much, otherwise it won't happen. Whoo! It exploded! And that is a booty right there. Okay. We're not getting good results here. I think I've spent the last 20 minutes just trying to get this cloak to work. Or maybe even longer. I can go the 3D modeling route. I think that may be what we have to do. So let's just jump to camera view real quick. Say Alt H. Let's pose our guy into the position he needs to be in. And then I'm gonna have to come back and revisit some cloth stuff because it's like I really want to know how to do this stuff. It's just I never get the chance to do it. back is like his arms just broken backwards, I think. I'm not gonna see his body, so it doesn't really matter that much. Mostly just want this for... Ooh, yeah, no, he's not doing that. What if I grab him? He just goes... Yeah. Okay. Bring the layout back in here. I hate this new... What the frick is going on? Like, enable all my stuff, please. Thank you. It's like how... I don't ever make you hide your crap. Well, I'm going to another comedy show tonight. Pretty excited. It's like one of my new favorite like hobbies to do. And the comedy club in Burbank, Flappers, they love to give me tickets to go. So I've been enjoying a lot of their shows lately. You know, big fan of that. Let's see, subdivide that. It's weird that one side is slightly different than the other because I don't remember making it different. Oh, it is wackadoodle. What is going on here? Scale by medium point, right? It's like every adjustment I was doing was like slightly different. Oh, is it because... Oh, because his body's not straight. What am I doing, guys? I'm like looking at it, I'm like, it's different on either side. Okay. We're kind of just customizing this more for his body type, which we'll do here, and here. Really like that. Let's delete these vertices. I think for right now, and then we'll just bring this out. And then this is the center one. Okay. So then I should have one more here. Just kind of like following his arm out a little bit. Maybe this is the way to do it, guys, is we pose him, then create the cloth sim around it. Especially since it doesn't have to be like perfect clothing. I think, yeah, and then we just keep that going down like that. We're not going to see below his waist, but let's just do it regardless. And I can add wrinkles and stuff like that in a bit later. I just need this to get there. I need you to get close, okay, sonny boy? Please. Okay. Delete the faces off that guy. Off that guy. Off that guy. And then, yeah, I guess if we select everything on the sides here and then say only faces, we throw a cloth stem on there. Let's do sewing. Let's do collision. I'm going to turn on self collision as well. Kind of like didn't really sew him up. Okay. Let's go into here, we'll turn on subdivide surface. And then let's turn that up to 5. Move that above our thing, our cloth sim, and our modifiers list. Did I have too many vertices? Is that what I just did? Can always recover changes, but this is just annoying. It's aggravating. Come on. Close, 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 please close. Crash, thank you. Crash number 1 for us today. Okay, reopen. Ooh. Recover autosave is what we're gonna want. The one from 3 minutes ago, please. Oh, geez. That's not even 3 minutes ago. Okay. I think here's what we're gonna have to do. I'm not feeling comfortable with this whole clothing option. I'm not familiar with what I need to be doing. So instead, I'm going to kind of try to create the clothes how I would probably normally do it. So let's do that. Let's scale that down. And just, oh, oops. Kind of extrude that out. Okay. So we'll kind of do the same thing we did last time. But this time I'm not going to be using the sewing function. I'm just going to do it how I probably would normally do it, which is like create the cloth around him. So more like in a sculpting method of doing this. Let's bring that down, and we can still use like a cloth simulator in order to accomplish this. Just not going to be using the sewing function of the cloth simulator. So let's go ahead and just model this closer to his body. Or hers. I mean, honestly, we're all inclusive here. The Grim Reaper could be a chick. Like, whoever said the Grim Reaper had to be a dude? Just saying. Let's see, and then we'll just have that kind of like wrap around. There we go. Okay, and then now I just have to connect the faces. Here we go. Okay. Select that under there, and that. I think that'll create this face. Perfect. In every way. Perfect in every way. I mean, every way, right? Okay. There we go. All right, so this is our ugly robe that we just created with our own stitching. Beautiful skills. All right, beautiful. Okay, and now we kind of just need to create our shoulder at this point. So if we just do that, it should be fine. And then I'm going to also model kind of, ooh, whoops. I'm going to have this kind of just continue upwards as like a brow around him. That's probably gonna work. Just kind of, yeah, that should be good. And then we'll subdivide this to have way more vertices later, but like for right now, just kind of like creating the faces and the shape that we need it to be. I think we can also, let's see, kind of want to subdivide that, just bring that out a little bit. And again, just kind of following the other edges that are there. And kind of add that there as well. Okay. Great. I'm going to also just connect this guy to that. I think add one more face or edge or sorry, vertice there. And now we can just start filling in some of these quads for our free model that we just did. May have screwed up the amount of quads I needed. So actually if we delete that vertex, we could probably just fix that by going here and then selecting these quads. And filling that in and just bringing that out a little bit. Okay. Usually avoid kind of like cloth modeling altogether. So that's why I kind of wanted to try it today. I'll just have to revisit it. Especially since I mean I don't have to only do that this one Grim Reaper photo. So I may come back to this like next week just to try out a new cloth method. His brow may be a little just like that. There we go. Okay, this brow may be a little bit droopy, but I can always model this later. I just need the initial cloth sim to have like all the wrinkles and stuff. That's what I'm doing this all this for. Also to fit the shape of the body because I'm not going to model this very precisely. Oh, hello there. Are we just try connecting it? I feel like this one doesn't exist on the other side, so we'll do that. Oh no, it's fine. It's okay to have a little difference on either side. Starting to get into tries territory, which may not be good. Okay. Okay. Now for funsies, let's just throw a cloth sim on this. Go to frame 0, hit the save button, and then just check to see what freaking happens. It goes all wackadoodle. I think it's mostly because, let's see, let's add a subdivide surface on here. Okay. And then let's grab that down. Something like that should be good. And let's start doing the sleeves here. Just going to kind of model this just one side at a time. And then we'll do the other side as well. see. Kind of give myself just a little more room there. Okay. I'm going to turn off visibility for that for right now, just to make everything a little bit easier to work with. And then I just need the underside of the arm. I feel like we could just jump up the arm real quick. That should be good. Just fill in that face. Jump up the arm. Okay, great. Last side. I may have screwed up a little bit on this. Just grab that and bring it out a little bit. Grab that, bring that out a little bit. Just looking at let's see. Not a fan. Just looking up some concept art real quick. Okay. Let's see. Let's increase that to 2. And then enable that. I think with the cloth as well. Let's just go into here and then turn on self collision. See. It's not terrible because it has like a tattered effect to it, which is, you know, slightly unintentional. But let's go to edit mode here and just extrude this other arm down. Just kind of fit this around her arm. And let's actually take that back a little bit. Let's bring that to there. I'm going to re-enable human gen. And then in here, let's just extrude. I'll rotate that a bit. Go back to frame 0, and then let's fix some of this as well. And fix this other side just to give it a little more shape as well. And then for this arm, I mean, I guess we can keep it as is for right now. Claw sim honestly kind of goes crazy a little bit after a little while. It's like a fine balance between it, honestly. It's like right there almost. Okay, let's go to our cloth sim now, and we're just going to apply. Oh, whoops. Not to that, I guess. Let's apply. There we go. And then for our human gen, let's hide that. And then for this, go to sculpt mode. Turn on multi-res. Where's that at? Multi-resolution. And subdivide. Subdivide. This is where we're going to do a lot of the work. I want the creases. Just kind of getting some wrinkles in here, I think. I think that's going to be the objective. Let's use the grab function as well. I'm just going to kind of just grab some different parts of this and just Bring that in a little bit. Maybe do a little more pinching, I think, on like some of that. Let's see. Could almost bring this up, yeah. Let's kind of lift the inside of that a bit. If we do pose this, do almost want to pose it like that. Something, yeah. And then we can now just add some more creases in there. Just kind of create some musculars. Good deltoid muscles right there, you know? Get them a little ripped. Smooth this kind of thing over here. And then increase that a little more. I don't think I like what I just did there. Hey Veeth, welcome, welcome, welcome. This has been a tumultuous stream thus far. Many emotions. But we're making it happen, so. And let's just crease some front stuff here. I really want to subdivide it again and then just kind of just give it some feeling of kind of Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of just thinking that we want to layers a little bit. That's gonna look like clay stripes. It's like close, but like a subdivide again. Cool. Now I just need to make the strength like really small. Maybe even increase the strength a little bit. Is that too far out? Too little. It's like that might work honestly, but yeah. Feels more Robe-y, you know what I'm saying? Let's just get some more creasing in here now. Kind of pinch this up a little bit. Just feel a little more refined. Yeah, we're not gonna see any of that anyways. Okay. Cool. Let's get out of that mode there. I'm going to set this to 4. And then let's do some lighting stuff. I'm gonna add in a point light here on the inside of his face, or again, could be her face. You know, I'm not the one picking here. I'm gonna do a -20, I think, for the light. Hit the save button there and let's just see what we get from the -20. Might be too much. Well, it's certainly too much just because right now we don't have any other lighting whatsoever, but oh, this is a cool song. Doof Doof. And now to the second difficult part of this shot, just getting the ripples. Let's do this. So we're gonna grab Z. grab Z. Perfect. And for this, we'll set the multi-res down because we don't necessarily need that. Let's go ahead, and we have dynamic paint turned on here. We can go to our dynamic paint setting here, and we're going to change this to brush, add brush. Boom. Now the question is that going to be enough right there? Let's just shade smooth that. That's pretty cool, honestly. I think something like that looks really nice. Am I gonna hate myself for subdividing one more time? Probably. Save. This is so much easier creating ripples than what we did like a couple weeks ago. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's nice, guys. So now I got these really nice ripples in there. That's got to be enough, right? Let's back up, I think. I like this frame. So what I'm gonna do is now that I got the frame that I like here, I'm gonna go to the modifier settings and we'll just hit apply. So now it's not doing anything. For this stuff here, I can just delete his animation out and we don't have anything moving. There's no caching that's happening on this frame. I kind of want to be able to see up here what's going on. But yeah, so now we got the water kind of finished for that. Let's go to our botanic settings here and we will re-enable our botanic. You know what we could have also done? Is there any water that's kind of like, I mean a little bit, but not really, honestly. Let's Control Z as well. And then re-enable dynamic paint. I'm going to have these guys here. Can we enable dynamic paint on them and just not animate them? Is that possible? What is that going to do for us? I think I have to make these editable though. Editable, not edible. I'm not trying to eat them. Let's go into here, convert to editable object. And now I'm going to say dynamic paint. Brush, add brush. Oh, that kind of does work. Just adds these tiny little ripples in here. Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to do the same thing for this guy over here. So I'll say convert to editable object, turn on dynamic paint, swap that to brush, add brush. And I don't think I do not. I think that's fine. They don't really need to be animated. They just kind of just need to sit there for a moment. Is there any other? Not really. And I think this is the frame we really like. Frame 19. I think that's pretty nice. Okay, so now if we go to our modifiers, we can hit apply. And that will apply our dynamic paint that we were doing. We can actually just keep the dynamic paint on all that stuff. We don't have to worry about it at all. But that gives us our ripples in all of those areas. That's awesome. So now I don't have to worry about it. And then if we just hit shade smooth, I think that's already fine, but might as well do it again. Great. Now we've got this really nice cloth. Let's re-enable that. And we can start working on some lighting and shading, because pretty much the scene is finished here as far as everything else is concerned. And here's the cool thing. If we wanted to make this an anime shot like we did last week, I could, because... Should I make this an animated object, or animated shot? I feel like maybe not. Because I could. I'm thinking about it, guys. So 48 frames, and yeah, should we do that? Frame 19. Yeah, we're not gonna have him walk, we're just gonna have it, or maybe we do have him walk. I don't like that keyframe. Let's just make that go super far. And then for this, let's just cache everything. So we have our saved waves surface. Let's go to cache. Let's do, let's bake to 100. And then, oh, is this going all the way to 250? Don't want to bake to 250. I think I had 250 set somewhere. Whatever. We'll have cache bake till 250. It doesn't really matter. And there we go. So that's going to give us our ripple effects, and I can now just go to 19, and let's say we wanted to make this 48 frames long, so we're going to call it 68, 67. Yeah, I think maybe we just do a single frame. That way we don't have to worry about anything. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and do some shading now. So I'm going to swap this over to our shader editor, and we're going to go ahead and create a new material. We'll call this just water. And maybe even before we do this, we might want to drop it in HDRI or something like that, so that way we know what we're working with. So let's do that first. I'm going to say color, environmental texture, and then we'll just open up. Did I have on last week, did I save it in the folder? 29th of September, VFX materials. Oh, no, I did not. So then it was under downloads. Right, overcast, pure sky. That works. I'll hit the save button here, but I'm going to also, I mean, as usual, we're not going to want it from the, we're just not going to want, we're just going to create a bounce light, almost like a flag. So if I create a cube, just scale that up, and then we'll delete these only faces, right? Onlyfaces.com. And then we'll just scale that up. We're just going to create this nice like backboard for it to be on. We'll just call that flag, and just kind of block the lighting so that way we get more of a silhouetted feel to our shot, even though it's a completely overcast day. So that'll give us a nice method of seeing that. So I'm going to go to viewport display and then just make this so that it's wireframe. But in our render view, it's going to be darker. So the rest of our scene is decently blown out right now, so maybe let's adjust that. Something like that should be fine. And then we can also fix some things in comp if we really need to. I think our negative light is a little much. And also for the purposes of this, I'm going to set the display of this shirt to what we will be seeing. So that way we know what we're really doing here. I think his head shape is just a little off. We're going to probably want to fix that. I'm just not a fan of the way it looks right now. Just bring in the side a little bit. And then for posing purposes, let's see. Let's see, radius. What is the fall off like? It's smooth. Should be a pretty good fall off, right? It's like bending pretty hard right now, honestly. That's interesting. Okay, and then as far as this goes, let's kind of fix this and pinch it in. Is that possible? Not crease, but pinch. like this hump that much, so I might need to flatten it out a little bit. And then just grab it backwards. Okay. Oh, that's pretty nice. I like that. Okay. And our lighting is a little lacking, so we can, or not our lighting, but our shading is a little lacking, so we can start to adjust some of those things now. I'm thinking it might be nice for the water to be done, so let's go ahead and take care of that first. Let's save that. Yeah, what do we got going on here? Let's set the color to something more bluish, and then get kind of like a green murky underwater effect going on here. We can change the subsurface to something a little higher, like somewhere around there-ish. And then let's see, we went for more of like a black kind of like, which we could do too. And then go for more like kind of like a green top to it. And then with this black, can we give it ever so slight like I like that. Kind of just feels murky and dark. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and then, so let's do green, subsurface IQ 1.4, 0 is fine, 0 is fine for metallic. Let's turn the specularity all the way up since this is water. Let's go 0, change the roughness to 0, sheen, keep that at 0.5, clear coat 0, it's fine, it's fine, it's all good, I think. Yeah, so then the only thing I can really think here is something like that might be nice. Really thinking black is the color I want the water to feel like. Yeah. It definitely gives it more realistic, like a more realistic feel. And the kind of like that endless mirror as it like goes off into the distance. So that's good there. And let's see, I'm just looking at this reference image as we're going along. Okay. Got all these like micro bubbles and stuff in there that I kind of like. Let's add some bubbles. So we'll just rename this to water. I think that's fine. That's good. And we did this last week or 2 weeks ago, so I think if we look at our normal map, this will kind of give us like a rough idea of like everything that we have. And then if we select a normal, and this is just default face up, it'll just have everything that's blue. So let's create a math node that will be taking the value of the normal and then subtracting it from our normal map that we currently have. And this will give us all the values that are ripple effects that we'll be doing. So we have our water and kind of like this matte type thing that we can use for whatever we need it to be. I'm going to, let's see, we had, was this last week? Was 2 weeks ago, right? Drive D live stream. Let's see, 22 of September. Downloads. Because I know I had like a bubbles texture, right? Certainly wasn't last week. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I'm not sure where I put the bubbles, though. I could just open that project and find them, which I'm probably going to do. Let's go ahead and save. I'm going to open up... the previous stream. I just don't know where I saved those bubbles, and I don't want to have to recreate bubbles that I already have. So let's go to our shader editor. And yes. And let's select the river. Bubble.alpha, where are you located? Inside of downloads. Just gonna select him because maybe I can just select him and copy. I don't know if I can copy or not, but I'm going to try. I can! Let's go. Okay, now let's add a principled BSDF texture. Drop that into our base here. Let's just look at this real quick inside of our settings. Or our view. Oh, okay. Then it is located in our downloads, at least I think. Bubble Alpha. Unwrap everything, I guess. Which I thought it was already unwrapped, so that's why I'm confused. I guess not, because I subdivided everything kind of crazy. Maybe that's what caused problems. Because it illuminates the Grim Reaper. It kind of like makes him feel like he's in some like Tron world or something. While I'm waiting for this, I'm just gonna get some more water. I'll be right back. Still waiting on this. I just get impatient whenever I'm working on these types of things and this happens, so I just crash it. It's gonna recover well enough. We hitting crash number 2 tonight, guys. Crash number 2. Okay. Instead of using that, let's use generated and swap that back. Hit save, and then I do need to locate the bubbles again. Of course, it's under my downloads folder because that makes sense. Where date modified? How about name by name? Oh wow, I found it so easy the first time too. Okay, and now as far as scaling is concerned, let's scale this up. Yes, by a lot. That's good. I like that. And then let's do a mix shader and use that. And use this here, I guess. I do feel like we can increase our specularity amount. We can decrease our roughness amount. Yes. I do kind of want this to be a little bit more noticeable. And we may want to decrease the size. Just by a little bit. And now we plug this into the bottom half of this mix shader. Do we need to swap this? No, we don't. But I do think this right here needs to be a... Let's search for color ramp. Just bring up the brightness a bit and use that here, and voila, that should work. And we can increase the amount of bubbles by doing this. Yep, that is doing it. That's good. It's like a clean, easy way of just like adding bubbles like in just like random spots without, you know, needing to do a lot of manual like shape effects. This seems to be frozen over here. Yeah, what was going on with that? Go to 3D viewport again. Or render view. That's pretty good. I like it. It just adds a little bit of like depth and feeling into it. I think that's pretty nice. The only other kind of thing I want is, let's go to 3D viewport here. I'm going to add just a ground to everything. Because I know kind of has translucency to it, the water does. Okay. Kind of like this raggedy thing that's going on here. I think we can kind of duplicate that effect as well. Here's what we can kind of do. Let's see. Just gonna select this whole thing here. I'm just gonna hit hide. And in here, let's go to this view. Just kind of select everything. I'm going to turn on this guy, and inside of our modifiers, let's just disable our multi-res because I don't want to screw anything up. We're just gonna grab just a smaller amount. Perfect. I like that. Let's do Alt H. Actually, no. I'm going to deselect everything else, and then we're just going to do the same thing to the other side, just to bring their arms out a little bit. And we could just save that now. And let's see what that looks like inside of what the multi-res turned on. I do think it would be nice to have some kind of like, you know how the Grim Reaper walks around with the staff thing? I could do that. Let's see. Let's see, we're just gonna turn that off right now and just kind of just gonna create some like threaded strands or whatever. Let's see, from the camera's perspective, I just need that like right there. Let's go back into skull mode for this side of the arm, and let's do the grab tool, I think. Do this. I'm just going to grab that and say Control L. And then we're just going to grab all that. And then kind of we're just ending this bit right down here. That's good. Let's duplicate that. We're just going to use that for the other side. Let's just grab this top bit here, and then we'll turn this back on, just kind of, oh, whoops, that, and then, okay. It's like little strands that we're just adding to the arm. Whoops. Add that just in between the arm here. Okay, perfect. So that gives us more of our tattered kind of like clothing effect that we've got going on, and will allow us to some adjustments. We may need a, let's add a light behind him. An area light should be fine. I always like to turn that up just a bit. Something like that should be fine. I don't think we're having too much of like a, just because of how much fog there is, we're not going to want this to reflect off the ground. So we can go into our visibility, I think, or yeah, let's go into visibility and then turn off glossy, because we're not really trying to get the water to reflect it all that much. We can even just kind of do that. So mostly just wanted to affect him. I think also the light, maybe we don't. More particular. Just kind of looking at our reference image. We're probably going to want to increase the size of it. And then half the intensity, I think. I also don't think blue is quite the right color. We're gonna have to change the cloth as well to what we need that to be. Let's go ahead and do that now. Just go to the fabric setting. I'm using Polyhaven as usual. So if you guys want to follow along, the link is in the description below. You guys can go grab your own textures. I'm probably just going to go with the denim fabric. Yeah, denim's fine because I just need it for the texture. I don't necessarily need it for the color. Let's see, roughness and the normals. That's all we really need it for. Do normal matte, plug that into the color, and then plug that into our normals. And then finally our roughness, we plug that directly into the roughness. I'm curious. Let's use generated. Yeah, generated should be good. I'm gonna need to adjust some stuff with the arms here. Let's turn on subdivide surface for this as well. And then include, let's see, Control J. Let's see. We do the Musgrave texture with kind of like a let's use that for actually our roughness. And then also for a, let's use Tune on this. I want to use a mix shader again. Plug this in down there, this in up here, and let's plug this into the height. Oh, whoops. Let's plug this into the FAC over here, and then let's view that. Let's add a light as well. We're just going to do a nice general area light. And then decrease this down, the intensity of it. And then let's plug this guy into the top shader up here. Okay. We can use this inside of our displacement now. Use a math node, I think. And we'll just multiply. It's by like 5. Turn the roughness down, the detail down to 0, and then just view this. That gives us a little more like a bumpy feel on his jacket. Honestly, we could almost use that for our other texturing that we got going on here, just to make it feel more dynamic. Plug this into the roughness, and this into this roughness, and this guy right here. So you just want to kind of like more reddish, dark color. That's pretty nice for the cloth, honestly. And then on top of all of that, we can make it kind of like more wet down here. Actually think maybe for the roughness on all of this, let's just turn that down. Let's go view our Musgrave. Let's change the detail on this and then the scale of it. I want something much smaller. Ooh. Something like that, maybe. Then can I change the, yeah, I think that works. Now let's plug in the mix shader here. And just using that as kind of like the height map, we'll plug that into roughness over here as well. And it kind of just makes this area over here a little bit drier, but what I need now is to invert and use that on both. So now it's going to make this wet. Okay. And that's cool. Let's go ahead and, so we have a little bit of time. I need a picture of, what does the Grim Reaper's thing look like? Yeah, okay. Let's use a cylinder. Let's just take this guy and we're going to extrude him out. You know, whoops. Guess I only selected the one side. Not to worry. Vertices. Oh, that's cool actually. Control J. Shade smooth. Let's take this now and do this. So Shift S, cursor selected. And then let's take this guy and then we'll scale him down on the 3D cursor. Okay, cool. And then we can make some new materials. Call this wood or staff. And we'll create another material called metal. And then we'll assign that metallic one there. Increase that. Let's turn the specularity all the way up. Let's turn the roughness down. And then for the staff, let's just do this. We can make it a little bit darker. Do a shader editor here. Transmission? Oh, not transmission. Emission? And then I don't think so. But let's go into our metallic settings here. Let's turn that all the way up. Our metallic will be 100%. Our roughness, let's create a, let's do a Musgrave texture as usual. And let's just scale that to something like, that should be nice. Let's turn the detail all the way up and let's increase the, set the luminosity to 1. And then the dimensions, actually I'm going to set this to 40. Yeah, 40 should be good. Detail, let's set the scale to, need it to kind of like mostly cover. Yeah, that's good right there. And then set the luminosity to 3. I think it should be good. Let's try 2, just let's see, 1. Okay. And then let's create I need a color ramp, which will plug into that. And let's set this to not black, but kind of like just like a gray. And then we're going to plug this into our roughness. And now if we go view that, it'll give us kind of a bit of a texture to it. And if we increase our scale, that'll be nice. Okay. All right. Don't like the lighting on him right now, so we can actually fix that. Let's add in a new light. We're going to add in a spotlight, the 3D viewport here. Okay, good. I'm going to probably adjust the brightness of that momentarily, but for the cloak, I kind of want to get rid of that orangey like effect that I was having and just go for more of just straight gray. Also going to go for a darker gray. Okay, now let's go back to our 3D viewport. Let's change this brightness down to like a 5, I think. Okay, that's much better. I'm going to our human gen now. I'm going to enable him. We're going to select the dude in the human gen. Yeah, I just realized I just looked over at the face. It's pretty funny. Let's turn off the eyes. Let's turn off the teeth. Let's turn off the teeth upper. And we're just going to select our body. And we only need this hand right here. And let's say this hand right here. Everything else we don't need. So we're just going to delete it. And now inside of our materials, instead of that selected, let's see, we're going to delete our materials and we're going to create a new material called hands. And we don't have to do too much with this. We could probably just go pretty dark with it and then increase the subsurface to something like that. But the subsurface color, set this to black. Turn our specularity down. Great. And now we can use our rig that we have to kind of move these hands around. That should be good. Let's do this. Median point. Rotate that. I'll just kind of rotate all of this around one by one to grasp the pool. Yeah, you did. You got what? You got me? I got you, buddy. I'm going to adjust the shader a little bit on this. I want it to be somewhat visible. Okay. You don't see the Grim Reaper's eyes, do you? Yeah, no, it's just kind of dark. So I don't have to worry about that. I do feel like this should be like a lighter gray than what it currently is. What we could do is just add a light specifically on that area. So let's do that. This ugly like light that I just added. Let's go to our metal that we have here, which is not super good, and change this to be... Let's go to... I don't want to do it through that. We don't want any roughness. I like that much better already. I'm going to split this, vertical split this, so that way I can actually adjust this light, because it's going to be only for this metallic object. Its only purpose is to serve creating a sheen on this. Like the radius should be less. I'm kind of screwing my so I don't want that to affect the water all that much. So I'll probably need to decrease the brightness here. If I had the new Blender version, this wouldn't be a problem. Because basically I just don't want to affect the water down here. I only want to affect this kind of this blade here. I'm just going to increase that by a bit, and then and as far as this shader is concerned, the staff shader, I think there should be no specularity on it. I'm just going to go something simple like that. And then let's do a Musgrave, I suppose. Let's change the scaling on that. That should be fine. Let's use a color ramp on this Musgrave texture. Whoops. I'm going to set the black on the color ramp to be this brown. Holy shit, this is laggy. Okay. And then also that brown. And then a darker version of that brown will be on this side. And then we'll plug that into our base color. And we'll just view this principled BSDF that we just created. That should be good. Our hand is a little fricked up here, so let's lower the intensity on that. Remove our specularity as much. I just don't like, I guess, the way that he's posed. And we can fix that. Let's go to sculpt mode here. Just like, I think he just needs to be turned a little bit more. That way he doesn't feel so T-posy, because I just feel like he feels just too T-posy right now. And let's see. I think it's better as far as a pose goes for him. I like that. And then I'm going to grade down kind of the bottom portion over here, because I don't like, I mean, it's fine as like a general photo, but you know, it'll be better if I do that. Yeah. Let's see. I think the only other thing we have to do now, I'm just going to save this, render it out, but if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and then you know, it's greatly appreciated for that, and then also hit the like button on this video. It's fun to do these every week with you guys. Let's see, let's just get this to be pretty big, about that big. I didn't really organize this stuff. Eventually, whenever, I mean, I don't know when this will happen, but I figured it might be fun to start like a Patreon or something where you guys can actually download all the files that I use to create this stuff. So I'll give you guys like the nuke scripts as well as the Blender files and the image files and all that stuff. So if you guys want to play with it afterwards, then, you know, that's up to you guys. I don't think terribly too many people would be interested in that, but let me know if that is something that you would be down for. Okay, let's set the viewport visibility for this guy to wireframe. Let's save that, and then let's just check this out as we're playing around with this. little too much. Well, that's pretty nice, honestly, already. I'm also going to, on the front of him, let's do that. I'm going to add another light. Let's add an area light. I'm going to use this as a method to kind of like suck out some light from this side. Let's do a -2. We don't even want that much. We just kind of want a little bit. And I'm going to turn off the glossiness, because we only want to be affecting his clothes, really, nothing else. Just step this up a little bit. Let's do a -4. Kind of make it feel like he's very, very much like dark, evil, scary. I do think the overall fog that we created, we could probably just lessen that amount just a little bit. See, and I'll need to do some clouds as well, which I haven't added those in yet. I think he is a bit bright on this side. You can always bring it down in comp, so I'm not too worried. Do kind of want to fix this. Just feels just a little too straight. Just want to grab this stuff here. Kind of turn on this a little bit. I like that. Just feels a little more tattered now, and I like that much better. I think a lot can be fixed in comp here. Let's try one more thing, I think. Let's do, rotate that by like this. I'm just kind of putting this all the way back here. I'm gonna scale that up also. increase the brightness like crazy. Just to kind of create like a horizon line. Increase the brightness by a bunch more, I think. Okay. And then now we just add the clouds in to kind of break up the sky a little bit. So let's do some of that. So we'll go cursor selected. Import. We do volume, import OpenVDB. Thank you, Veeth. Appreciate that. Work in progress. We're getting there. It's been a bumpy road today, but it's slowly coming together. Let's do... Is it located in my downloads? I know I have clouds somewhere, but I don't know if they're located... Let's go back. I think it's located under here. Would it have been last week? No, it wouldn't have been. I don't think so. Would have been the week before. I don't want to go download them again. I literally have downloaded them like 3 times now. There we go. Let's create an asset library or something. And yep, so import OpenVDB, and then I guess you guys can only see the one screen right now, but believe me, I'm importing OpenVDBs right now. Let's go to textures, VDB packages. There we go. I'm just going to save the location for this. Scale that guy up. Something over, I think, on the left side. And then something over here. See how that looks. Quite like it. I don't think we want them to go all the way down though, so let's see. Let's create kind of like an artificial like horizon line that we've got going on here. See how that kind of renders out. Not bad, honestly. It's getting there. I think if we render this out, we could probably do some wonders in comp. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to disable that. We'll go to a regular view here. Now that we got all the clouds kind of in there, I think that's quite nice. Let's just duplicate this, kind of like. Let's see. Let's bring that up. That's nice. Okay, great. Yeah, which. Just to give it a little more thickness there, and direction. That's good. Okay, great. Let's set up our render preset settings. I'm gonna render this out at 25% first pass. OpenEXR multi-layer should be good. We're not rendering out an image sequence, so I don't really need to set up the location where that's gonna be. But for our cryptomath, we'll do objects and materials. I don't really need anything else because I'm not going to be relighting anything, but primarily the basic settings is just making sure that CryptoMatte is selected, and then I'll be rendering this out at 25% resolution first, so just changing that there. Let's go ahead and hit the render button now while that's going, and then let's open up a comp. I'm going to be compositing this inside of Nuke, so when this is finished we can comp it in Nuke. Should render decently fast. I mean, it's gonna say it's taking 25 minutes first, but that's fine. Go ahead and save this under scripts, and we'll call this 6th of October 2023 and version 1. Should be fine. Let's see how long this is going to take. It's going pretty fast. Already says 10 minutes, so it's going down real quick. But this is the grayscale version of it, and of course the render or the reference video picture of it, and finally our rendered version that we're doing right now. And then we're gonna comp a lot of this as well. I might, yeah, comp it and grade it. Not bad though. I love it when we can add in some OpenVDB clouds and stuff. I always think it looks quite nice when we get to do something like that. And this method of creating the ripples was really easy. Just using kind of the paintbrush technique of inside of Blender. Let's see, but I guess while we're waiting for this, just a quick reminder, please hit that like button, the cha-ching button, the little like button down there. And then if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. And of course, turn bell notifications on so that way when we go live again, you get notified. I'll be posting the time lapse of this, I think, on Monday. So again, if you're subscribed, then you will get the notification of that. Thanks. I just saw someone hit the like button. You guys are awesome. I'm going to be posting the time lapse on Monday, and then I may do some breakdown stuff of different techniques and whatnot coming up. I know that there are some of the previous streams I did where I was like, oh man, it'd be really cool to talk about the lighting that we did on this, or you know, some different techniques like that. It's difficult with how short these streams are to really dive in and get the image to look as, you know, perfect as we want it, but you know, it is fun to also test out different techniques and stuff like that. Like creating these bubbles was like a really cool thing to do. So I may show a little bit how we did that, and I mean, you guys can always go back in the streams and watch it later as well, but yeah. And then I may also put these files up for download if you guys are interested in that. So that way, if you want to play with the Blender file or the Nuke comp, then by all means, you guys can mess around with that. I know for me, it's really helpful to receive comps from other artists sometimes, just to see how they did something, and it allows me to kind of break it down in my own way and adjust for that. So I may be doing something like that. I don't know. That's still up in the air. We've been doing this for a few weeks now, so I could upload all of those things to like some kind of download portal or something like that. I just have to look into it. Okay, this is rendered out. I'm going to render out the full res version as we are editing this in comp. So let's just real quick save this. Call this VFX. Material, and a new folder called output. I will save this in there. 6th of October 2023, temp version 1. That's good. I'm gonna hit the save button there. And now we're going to just set that to 100% for the render resolution and get that going. I'll set that over here. Let's see. I'm going to open up our comp and then we can start working on this. of October, and then we'll just open up our EXR output. Now, since we used CryptoMats, we are going to have to shuffle our image here. I'm going to just select combine, and then we'll just drag everything over. And then overall, I've always noticed, at least with the config file that I'm using, everything just gets really dark. So I'm just going to brighten that up. And we're going to make some other adjustments, of course. I'm going to add in a CryptoMat. I think the first thing I really want to see done here is darkening those clouds. So if I can, objects, materials. Oh, I don't think I can. That's a bummer. So does volumetric clouds not appear as... Well, that's interesting. There is a way to go about this. Yeah, there is a way to go about it, but because I think the last time I did that, I was able to adjust it by not having a real sky behind it, because you can't see the sky anyways. I essentially just inverted the you couldn't see the clouds type of thing. So I would select the sky that was behind the volumetric clouds, and then the clouds were in front of it, which created a negative on the mat. In this particular case, everything is here except for the sky. So I'm going to select kind of everything if I can. I'm just going to select everything. And here, we can invert. And now we only have the sky. So now if we add in this color corrector node, I'm going to plug that into the invert. I could actually just create more contrasty clouds and then just offset or bring the gain down on everything. I might also bring that. And then for our highlights, we can bring that down as well as our gain here. Just that down slightly. And then overall, just kind of bring that white point up a little bit. Because now we're just basically increasing the contrast in the background, and I probably just increased it a little too much. Probably also going to bring the saturation down, at least on the background, because it's further away. We don't need to see as much of that. Could have also done this without like a crypto mat. Actually, I feel like, here, why don't we do this? Because I think the horizon's being lifted up as well. I'm just gonna add in a merge node and a roto node as well. And select just this horizon line here, and we only want above it. And then that will allow us to only have the, oh, whoops, I have to put that below the invert node. This is all going to be affected by that. So we have our invert node, which is just that alpha, and then we're going to add in the merge node with only the roto of that. And if we add an edge blur, now it's just going to kind of blur that a little bit. Now we can plug all of that into our merge node here. And now it's only going to be affecting kind of like that horizon there. I do think, let's see, this can't be quite as bright. And then bring everything down over here. Let's add in a new roto node. No, Ben, I will not be doing any texturing for the face because, I mean, with the Grim Reaper, you don't see their face, so it's kind of just like an empty blackness. Okay, and this grade node here, we then take this and then make the white point just a little bit darker. Oh, and set this to RGBA. There we go. I may have made a mistake actually. So let's because I'm comping all this stuff at the wrong size. I just remembered that. Use a reformat node and a scale 4x. Just set that 1920 by 1920. Yeah. We'll swap that with a dot because we're going to be changing this out for the Blender render. Scale up my vignette. And let's blur this a little bit more. and bring it down a little bit more as well. I think also we're going to want to have a cryptomat of just the Grim Reaper. Yeah, just the Grim Reaper himself. And I'll do all this crap. Let's just do the Grim Reaper for right now. Oh, and not that. I need the mask. And then for this guy, let's just bring him down a little. It's hard because we don't know actually what he looks like right now, just because it's not a full render of him, so it's just a little... I think it's going to be more detailed than that. Yeah. Let's add another cryptomat in here. And then do specifically the trees back here. We're going to want to bring those down as well. Bring this down, I think, a little bit. Let's add in a glow, I think. Kind of give it that hazy feeling. I like that. That's kind of nice. But do we want to go more of a blue? Oh no. Yeah, I like that. It's just getting this full image in there. Oh, that's right. Haha, that's funny. Yes. Kind of just, I don't want it to blow out the sky too much. I like that better though. So it's just, it's like a, you know, finding the right balance, I think. Okay. I'm gonna add in a lens distortion node here. I'm gonna hit redistort, and we're just gonna do a little bit. Not much. You can think a little bit less than that, honestly. I don't want him to be affected all that much. And of course, we add in the grain. I do feel like it's like one of those things. Also, I have, might as well use it. I don't even want to use this grain because I have, what is that called? No, it's a filter by Sapphire. Got so many sapphire things. Film damage. And I'm not going to want half the crap it's about to enable. But at least gets it, you know, gives you some stuff. So I'm going to remove the dust hairs. Oh, whoops. Dust details fine. Hair details we don't really want. Let's take out the grain amplify. We'll just turn that down slightly. And then we'll do, we don't want stains really. I don't think so. Do we just get rid of dust? I kind of just like, I use it for the grain mostly. So That's great. Let's see how much longer we got on this. Love the little ripple effects from over there too. Yeah, it says it's going to take an hour. I don't think it's really going to take an hour, but I am like rendering at the same time, so it looks like I'm buggy up there. I don't know. Here's the thing, guys. I'm probably just going to post the final image later, and that'll be that. I got to get going though, because I didn't realize it's so late. It's 9 o'clock. But thanks for watching, everybody. This is kind of the final image here. I will be posting the official final one on Instagram. So go follow me on Instagram. And the time-lapse will be posted on YouTube. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right now. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Yes, I know you did. So that's good. Thank you. And also hit the like button on this video, please. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week for the next spooky render, which, I mean, guys, next week's Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, which, I mean, who knows? We got to do something bloody, right? Like, we got to do something crazy. So, but without further ado, this is the end of the stream here, though. I'll show you guys real quick the Blender render here. It's still going, but we'll be posting the official final photo on yes, like, subscribe, smash those buttons. I'm sure I'm laggy. I don't know, like I don't know what's going on, because every time I look up there, it's like bop 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 bop. It doesn't really matter because it's the end of the day. So thank you guys so much for joining, and I will catch you guys on the flippity flop. All right, peace.